Hello, I'm Azai. Welcome back to Tokyo Necro. I just ate some dinner and also went back from the gym. And I am back. Not really much to say actually. Other than, I think on the 4th of May, I might not be able to record a video since I will be eating an all-you-can-eat buffet with my sister. There's surprisingly a cheap all-you-can-eat sushi buffet on the 4th, so I'll be eating that. But let me try to remember what happened last time. I think we're very close to finishing Mitsumi's route, right? I think we're still on the date with Mitsumi. Etika was on a date with Kiri, though she is a living dead, so I'm not sure how Etika's gonna die at some point on this route. Surprisingly, this might be the first route where the living dead, or you know, the main character that we choose as a living dead, is not dead yet at the end of the route. I mean, I assume this is the end of the route, right? But it might not be. Wait, what the? Is this not the save data that I have previously? Or did I not save last time? Oh, no, this is the save data. There we go. And by the way, I discussed this game again with my friend. And turns out that the first route that I got was Kansu's route. I was actually wondering whose route it was. But I guess it makes sense that it would be Kansu, right? Since the scene with Sorya Yuka was super weird in my opinion. But alright, let's continue this date with Mitsumi. If only this moment could last forever. That's the first thought that runs through my head as the light turns red at the scramble crossing. Mitsumi's sitting right next to me. I consider reaching out toward her, while thinking about what her hair must feel like. I enjoy how close we've become. It makes me feel almost whole. But not quite. There's still something missing. I want us to become even closer. You know, you're kinda being a creeper right now, Son. But alright. Our car rolls onward. This place is always, like, loud. That's Mitsumi's first impression of the arcade as she gets scanned by the security robot standing guard at the entrance. As usual, the dance floor is a chaotic tumult of people. It doesn't particularly surprise me that Mitsumi would be unfamiliar with the place. This is just not her world. It is kinda weird the fact that the arcade is behind the dance floor, right? You'd think that the dance floor would be behind the arcade. I signal for Mitsumi to follow, and we proceed to make our way through the crowd of fervently dancing youths. We enter the VR game arcade. Judging by the suspicious glare Mitsumi gives the orb-shaped VR cabins lining the place, I can only assume she's never played something like this before. Mitsumi doesn't look particularly fond of the idea. She's likely hesitant to jump into something this unfamiliar to her. This is a freaking game, Son. I still feel like these two are a bit weird, man. The relationship, anyway. She seems to have made up her mind. They're too similar, you know? Five minutes pass. Sorry about that. Mitsumi climbs out of the multi-screen orb looking like someone who's just returned from a decade-long war.
飛び道具は比較的苦手なのだ。
でもそういうゲームなんだよな。
武器を私に少子丸を。
FPS is pretty popular, Mitsumi. But I agree with Mitsumi though. To be perfectly honest, I kind of prefer to have like a saber or a melee weapon if I were to play VR. I probably would like a Beat Saber, but I've never actually tried it.
修理中だろ。
From what I've been told, Soshimaru's blade shattered back when Mitsumi broke into the fortress. She ended up leaving it at Kansu's shop to have it fully repaired.
刀を使ったゲームか。本数に頼んでみようか。
関数？
ああ、これを作ったの彼女なんだ。副業。
あいつね、妙なゲームを。
他に挑戦する？
いらん。
She didn't even hesitate. It doesn't seem like she enjoyed this at all. I wish I knew how to please her, but I suppose there's a reason Etika keeps calling me bungling.
いや、違う。お主は悪くない。
Yeah, these two are so awkward, man. I feel like with Iria, I don't know. I guess because they're, like I said, their personalities are just too similar to each other.
悪いのは楽しめない私の方なんだ。
That's not true. And the fact that Son is trying to, change so that these two become closer, I feel like it doesn't work. Son is just not that type of person. I feel like this is a very weird thing that Son is doing personally. I nearly voiced my disagreement, but ultimately choose not to. Getting into an argument would only deepen her feelings of guilt, and I don't want that.
行こう、ミツミ。
ああ。
We stay near the edge of the dance floor. The wildly chaotic atmosphere of the place, with its incessant cacophony of sounds and passions, serve only to further dampen our spirits. All around us, young people enjoy their electric signal drugs, while completely surrendering themselves to the rhythm of the music. I can't say I really approve of what they do, and yet...
みんな楽しそうだな。
ああ。
楽しいか。なるほど。そう。
All of a sudden, Mitsumi grabs my hand and starts pulling me along while I'm still struggling to understand what she's trying to do.
私がこの世で一番楽しいと思っていること。それはお主と共に戦うことだ。
It's not like we can fight right now, though.
そうなのか。
Fighting side by side with Mitsumi has certainly been a unique experience, to say the least. It feels entirely different compared to how Etika and I fight together, where we use our differences to bring the most out of the other's technique. It's almost like I become a part of Mitsumi, and in turn, she herself becomes a part of me. It's difficult to explain, but entirely pleasant all the same.
演舞だ。戦っているとき、私はお主と演舞を行っているように思う。
She's likening our fighting style to a dance. Now that I think about it, she does have a point. The way she's describing it certainly comes close to how I myself have felt.
さあ、踊るぞ、ソン。
え？
楽しいことをするんだ。
This is so awkward. I can't get rid of this awkward feeling, man. Out of nowhere, Mitsumi spins around and pushes me away. She holds onto my hand though, which prevents me from falling over. I can feel my arm being pulled on. As we maintain our balance by latching onto each other, like a dance.
やったな。
Almost as an answer, I proceed to pull Mitsumi closer to me. Our bodies move with the rhythm of the roaring music that fills the room. First to the right, then to the left. We punch and swipe. We meet and part. Around and around, back and forth. We complete each other. Mitsumi becomes an extension of my body. And she in turn becomes an extension of mine. This is so weird. What we're doing probably looks nothing like an everyday dance performance. Instead, it resembles a full-blown martial arts demonstration, and has rightly earned us more than a few surprise looks. You know, it's pretty nice though seeing a CG where Son's actually smiling. What the? That is pretty nice. I'm actually admiring Son more than Mitsumi, sorry about that. Do we care though? Not at all. I enjoy dancing with Mitsumi, and I'm sure she feels the same way. Paying no heed to the passing of time, the two of us continue dancing in complete, energizing harmony.
ダンスとは楽しいものなのだな、ソン。
As long as we didn't bother the other patrons, we could do as we pleased. Our goal was to simply have fun, and we did. I'm glad to have finally found something that Mitsumi could genuinely enjoy and lose herself in.
あの音楽は何というのだ？
気に入ったのか？
いや、記念に覚えておこうと思って。
I see. I used my Conry to look up the music that played back at the club.
みつみはどんな音楽が好きなんだ？
いや、普段聞くことも少ないのだが。
Mitsumi spends a few moments in thought.
そうだな。サブコンの歌は嫌いではなかった。
It's not really a song though.
サブコンか。
I end up recalling what happened at the Tokyo Megafloat. The voice that led me to the beach of Midnight Shores likely belonged to Subcon. Speaking of which, she hasn't shown herself around the city in a while now. She used to hold those guerrilla performances quite often though. I think this is actually the very same place Iria and I first saw Subcon. With thoughts like that still whirling in my mind, I look up and see one of the Empire Energy Corp's announcements being displayed on a massive LED sign.
皆様に大切なお知らせがあります。我々東京都民は先の米中戦争の爪痕から復興し、再び明るい未来を切り開くその一歩を踏み出そうとしています。秩序と進歩を達成するため、私たちはいよいよ来週、東京リバースプロジェクトの実行へと取り掛かります。明日、その詳細を初めて公開できることになりました。東京都民の皆さん、可能な限り放送をご覧になってください。東京リバースプロジェクトには我々の未来があります。
I guess we're actually gonna be able to see the Tokyo Rebirth project in this route. Sophia Kawarazaki is delivering a speech to the public. Her eyes reflect the same sense of purpose I saw in them back at the Megafloat.
未来。
Ooh, sorry about that, Mitsumi. Mitsumi mutters the word to herself in a low voice. I'm not really the most suitable person to ponder lofty concepts like mankind's progress and future prosperity. I got off that ship to survive, and saved Iria to keep my promise. I fought Milgram simply because it was part of the job. And now, I have Mitsumi here by my side. This is enough for me, I think. I feel content. I feel like I'm not really rushing the story anymore because of what the hell is going on right now. But during the battles, I definitely feel like I'm rushing, like reading through the dialogue quite a lot. I'm not really blaming the game though. Like I said, it's because the game is engaging enough that I'm doing that. My impatience gets the better of me. I was never content with anything. I was constantly irritated. I wanted to take the world, along with its mundane rules, and kick its teeth in. That desire is what fueled all my actions. At least it did at one point, right?
スーちゃん。チカ。
Sue looks up from her monitor with a sheepish expression.
何見てたの？
帝国エネルギー社の PR 東京リバースプロジェクトの内容が明日明かされるって。
へえ。
I give a half-hearted reply. To be honest, it doesn't really make me feel anything.
秩序と進歩ね。一体何をやるんだか。スーちゃんは知ってる？
知らない。
Oh? That was a strangely conventional answer from a girl who's normally unable to keep herself from digging up secrets.
エネルギー貴族は東京都民を食い物にしている。あいつらは信じられない。
Considering what Nichia did to you guys, that's true.
でもぼーっとしてたら滅びるんでしょ？前に進もうってのは悪いことじゃないかなって思うけど。
進み方による。
犠牲を出しちゃダメってこと？それはちょっと甘っちょろいかな。あたしだってさ、尊い犠牲になったからミルグラムが倒せてテロを未然に防げたわけでしょ？
ごめん。
別に謝るところじゃないかな？
Sue probably thought she had hurt my feelings. A shame I don't really have any left to hurt. This kinda sucks. But even as I think that, a part of me just doesn't care anymore.
イリアは元気？
多分ね。今はメガフロートに入り浸りだけど。
Yeah, you know, this actually is pretty weird, right? The fact that Sue is actually asking about Iria's condition.
毎晩夕飯が終わってからコネリンでおしゃべりしてる。メガフロートとの直接回線なんて珍しいでしょ？
I mean, the fact that, you know, Sue and Iria have no, like, almost zero dialogue in this route, right? The only dialogue they have is when Iria took, like, a look at Sue's PC to get info on Kirishima Michiya. Kuroshima? I think it's Kuroshima.
それは多分特例。通信自体がハッキングの危険をはらむ。AAS は厳格に情報をコントロール。
What's the AAS again? Aegis system, right? Maybe?
だから東京リバースプロジェクトの全容を知るのもごく一部限られた人間だけ。
Huh. Must be something really amazing if they're going that far to hide it. Guess we'll find out tomorrow.
それでエチカは何の用？
ね、スーちゃん。
I get right up close and personal with her.
何？
あたしといやらしいことしない？
え？
ほらさ、こないだもあたしがリビングデッドか調べるためにいろいろやってもらったわけだし、そのお礼したいかなって。
いや、でも。
Sue's body begins to tremble. She's clearly nervous.
エチカ。
You know you're a living dead now, right, Ethika?
大丈夫だよ。力を抜いて。
Yeah, I'm not gonna get fooled by this. This is not going to be an H scene.
あたしがスーちゃんを天国まで連れてってあげる。
As I lean closer and whisper into Sue's ear, I can clearly see just how much she's trembling.
なんて、嘘嘘。
In the end, I try to lighten the mood with a joke.
からかっちゃってごめんね。いやさ、今の私はどんな風に見えるかなって。
私もごめん。前と同 同じに振る舞えなくて。
I force out a smile.
だからそれはスーちゃんのせいじゃないってば。私が死んでるのが悪いの。
ごめん。
Another apology, huh? I can no longer tell what is and isn't appropriate to say. That's why stuff like this keeps happening. It's probably best I stop trying.
ねえスーちゃん、どうしてリビングデッドはセックスできないのかな。
不気味の谷っていう現象がある。
The hell?
不気味の谷？
アンドロイドがどんどん人間に近づいて忠実度が上がっていくと人間と見分けがつかなくなる。その直前急激に恐ろしく見えることがある。
ああ、なるほど。
So, you're telling me if something is too similar to something else, people get frightened by it. I nod. The sex rights that were servicing customers at Amachi's castle were virtually indistinguishable from ordinary humans. But those vaguely human-like pieces of art lining the halls, and even the deactivated sextoroids, they did look kinda scary.
それはリビングデッドにも言えると。
But people have sex with those sextoroids, though. Something that almost looks like the thing it's trying to imitate, but not quite. I'm assuming it's down to more than just looks, though. Even the smallest oddities in a living dead's behavior can put people off. Maybe this is where man's instinctive repulsion to corpses comes from. If you ask me, sex isn't just a purely physical thing. It's also the clashing of two people's innermost feelings and passions. When you sleep with someone, you both bare yourself open to the other, revealing some of the most intimately delicate parts of who you are. I agree with you, Ethica, but I think a lot of the sex industry doesn't agree with you. Hence why prostitution is so so popular in the world, you know? It's both a physical and an emotional connection. Hence my conclusion.
人間という存在はレムレースでコントロールできる物理的作用以上の何かを持っている。けど現代のネクロマンシーはまだその何かを捕まえる手段を持たない。
でも希望はある。オカルティックな話じゃない。私たちの科学がまだ十分に進歩していないだけ。
そうかもね。
I think she is, at any rate. But that's it. She's just right. Nothing more, nothing less than that. There's no longer a single ray of hope left in this waning heart of mine. Oops, sorry about that. Was adjusting my mic arm. My heart is filled to the brim with hope. Ethica is being depressed while Soen here is like showing off the fact that he's happy. I'm confident that I'm doing the right thing. The contrast between the two is definitely like something. At least I thought I was. But I suddenly realized something. That suggestion was aimed at Iria. It may not fit Mitsumi. Why have I failed to notice something this basic? I'm honestly ashamed of myself. Then again, things have been going well so far. Probably. We arrive at the Grand Silenzio Hotel. Petrified, Mitsumi looks up at the building towering above her. Her expression is akin to someone who's just turned into a tank-class living dead. You know what that is.
どうしたミツミ
Why would that be highlighted again even though we already Huh, I guess we didn't find a tank class living dead in this route, did we?
いや、大丈夫だ。行くぞ、ソウン。
ああ
She starts making her way toward the hotel with a determined look on her face.
三海入り口はこっちだ
I guess she thinks that we're gonna have sex, right?
おお
But someone probably just wants to go to the pool or something. Mitsumi hurries after me with a downcast look. I can practically feel how tense she is.
よく来るのか？
週に何回かは
そうなのか？
習慣になってるからね
そうか。誰が相手だ？
Yeah, I kinda know how your brain works now, Mitsumi.
相手そうだないつも一人で来るけれど時々先生に相手をしてもらうことはある
先
専門家じゃないからねちゃんと教えてもらわないと
生？そういうものか。
Mitsumi falls silent for some time. I feel like this is so weird, man, I swear to God. Maybe she's worried. I know I keep reiterating that, but I just can't get rid of this awkward atmosphere that I feel.
三海
いや、
I
なんで
don't...
もない。
I personally don't think me and Mitsumi could have a... could have a, you know, like this kind of relationship, personally.
そう塞がなくても大丈夫だよ最初は慣れなくても僕がちゃんとトレーニングするから
ソウンが私に教えてくれるのか？
もちろん
わかった。それではよろしく頼むぞ。なんだここは。
I slip into my swimming trunks and wait for Mitsumi, but when she comes out to the pool, the first thing she does is sound an ear-splitting yell. What's more, she's still in her street clothes. I was starting to wonder why it was taking her this long to get changed, but...
ソウン、その格好は。というか、一体これは。
プールボックスだよボックス型のプールを積み重ねることで小スペース
ホテルとは泊まる場所では。
I can only assume she's never been to a place like this before.
もちろん泊まることもできるけど食事をしたりジムに通ったりもできる僕はここのプールをよく利用してるんだ
Yeah, I actually go to a hotel gym myself. A lot cheaper than a commercial gym and way less people too.
そうだったのか。
どうした三海
Mitsumi's shoulders droop down.
いや、なんでもない。
プールに入るのがそんなに嫌
もちろんだ。私は泳げん。
True? I'm well aware of that. She did nearly drown when we were underwater. But that's precisely one of the reasons why I invited her. Then again, considering our current relationship,
ごめん確かにデートの途中で来るような場所じゃなかった
あ、いや、だが。
ちょっと待ってて
I hurry back into the changing room. We do actually have the means to turn this into a proper date. Science has advanced a great deal. The workings of the human brain have been thoroughly analyzed and dissected. We even have paths capable of transmitting electrical signals to induce feelings of pleasure. As a result of our technological innovations, the illegal electric signal drugs that circulate in underground circles are supposedly 100 times less harmful than tobacco, the substance that took the world by storm in the 20th century. But that fact invites a certain question, and rightfully so. The severely addictive nature of alcoholic beverages is undeniable, as is their ability to induce chronic dependence. Compared to the side effects, the benefits of drinking are few and far between. I don't know, I feel like drinking is actually a really good social lubricant. Yet despite all that, alcohol is still being widely circulated in our society. The question naturally arises, why? Like I said, it's a good social lubricant.
乾杯。
乾杯。
People's mouth are a lot less stiff when they are drunk, you know? The bubbles in our drinks gently float toward the surface as Mitsumi and I clink our glasses together. I take a sip and savor the distinctly sweet, yet slightly bitter taste that spreads across my mouth.
こういう味か。
普段は飲まないのか。
リビングデッドはいつ現れるかわからんからな。
今はいい酔い止めもあるよ。
それはまあそうなのだが。
Mitsumi's sentence trails off, and she once again falls silent. She's a formidable rival to our agency. As one of the top living dead stalkers in Tokyo, I'm fairly certain she earns quite a bit of income. The reason she set up her agency in a district mostly devoid of pipes must be because of her brother. On its own, the continued maintenance of his undead body can't have been a particularly costly affair. Making sure that he retains an outward appearance that more or less resembles that of a human, on the other hand, must have required a substantial amount of money and care. Mitsumi's straight-laced personality is likely rooted in that particular economic background of hers.
なあ、三つみ。
I mean, there are some cheap alcohol, you know?
これから僕たちの事務所は協力関係を結ぶんだ。君のお兄さんの世話も僕たちと共同で負担できないかな。
そう、一つ謝らせてくれ。
謝る。
Mitsumi places her hands on her lap and turns to face me.
私は木場野原を殺してしまった。
No, she didn't! She died because of me!
私がもう少し早く池袋 CPC に駆けつけていれば、あんなことにはならなかった。
You know, I don't mind when people say stuff like this, but if they say stuff like this too much, I actually get angry, you know? Like, I know that what is it, like, this is not what they're trying to mean, like, I know that the fact that they're not arrogant enough to think that it's because of them and everything around the world is revolving around them. I get that, but I keep thinking that that's what's being implied, you know?
でも、それはミルグラムが。
それだけではない。
Okay. The intensity of her voice renders me speechless.
私は兄のメンテナンスであの病院によく行くのだ。設備の様子から木場野原がおそらくリビングデッドになっただろうことは推察できていた。
I see.
なのに私はそれを伝えることができなかった。
So, even on the other route, she probably already knows that Son and Ethica were both already living dead.
すまなかった。
I do recall running into Mitsumi at the hospital that day. There did seem to be something different about her. Now it's clear she's been bearing the guilt of Ethica's death ever since.
君の言う通りだ。もし君がエチカのことを正直に話せたら、戦況は違っていたかもしれない。君の気がそれで済むなら、罰を受けてもらおう。
ああ、
Mitsumi's tone is solemn.
その罰とは？
次からは隠し事はなしだ。
隠し事？
あ、君は僕たちの仲間だ。だから何か気づいたこと、感じたことがあれば、正直に包み隠さず話すこと。わかったね。
いや、 しかし
以上三つみ。繰り返すけど、あれは君の責任じゃない。僕たちはいつも死と隣り合わせだ。自分の命の責任は自分で持つ。
Exactly. I do agree with that. We make our own choices, man.
君が遅れたことをエチカは責めたか？あるいは君がエチカの立場だったら、遅れて助けに来た仲間を君は責めるか？
Mitsumi falls deeply silent. I decide to switch topics.
さあ、この話はこれで終わり。
しかし
三つみ、忘れないで。これはデートだ。
This is so awkward.
楽しもう。それとも僕と楽しむのが嫌かな？
そんなことはない。そんなことはないが。
隠し事はなしだ。正直に包み隠さず話すこと。君は今日僕と過ごして楽しかった？
Mitsumi finally decides to look me in the eye.
楽しかった。ソウンに教わったよ。私は自分の世界を縮めてしまっていたのかもしれん。世界は広い。私が生きている範囲よりずっと
だったら嬉しい。途中まで失敗したなって思ってたから。
正直に言えば大変なこともあった。買い物とかゲームとかプールとか、まあ苦手だ。
We barely went to the pool though.
ごめん。次からはしない。
失敗もソウンが一緒だと楽しいよ。
I appreciate her positivity, but I'd still like to keep those mistakes to a minimum going forward. And so, I end up making a careless remark.
やっぱりサジェスト通りにはいかないな。
サジェスト？
いや、
エクスブレインか？
Mitsumi's intuition is sharp as a knife.
今日のコースはエクスブレインのサジェストに従ったのか？
いや、
ソウン、私たちは仲間なのだろう？
もちろん。
ならば隠し事はなしだな。
Somehow, Mitsumi has suddenly become extremely intimidating.
さあ教えてもらおうか。今日のコースはエクスブレインのサジェストの結果か？
I resign myself to telling the truth.
正確には違ってる。
そうなのか？
前回イリアと外に行った時に彼女の性格から導き出したコースで、今回はそれを流用した。
ほう。ということはこのルートはすべて崩御イリアが通った道？
そうなるね。
一つ聞こう。
Mitsumi doesn't look me in the eye. She averts her gaze like a bashful maiden.
そのデートはプールで終わったのか？
うん。
私たちのデートもここで終わるつもりか？
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Damn you, hentai games! Why do you have to have sex in the first date, damn it? I stared deeply into her eyes. My mind was made up a long time ago.
もし今すぐ帰りたいと思ってなければ、君を誘いたい。
This is why I can't handle these type of, like, you know, romance type situations anymore, man. Mitsumi empties her glass in the blink of an eye.
よし。
Her voice slinks out like a whisper.
ならば許す。
Why didn't society as a whole abandon alcohol? A long time ago, I posed that question to Ethica, who replied with a completely straight face. Don't be a dumbass, Son. Booze isn't going anywhere. It's one of mankind's greatest inventions after all. For what, you may ask? Why, of course, for seducing all the cutest girls. I don't think that's what it's used for, personally, Etika, but I guess some people use it for that. Technically, social lubricant can also work when you're trying to pick up girls, true. Makes you feel less embarrassed, right? Meanwhile, our depressed Etika, is he trying to seduce her? I can make out Son and Mitsumin below my pool compartment. Mitsumin hates water though. It looks like she's hesitant to even put on a swimsuit, let alone get in the pool. Or maybe Son decided to just come here for training and it's got nothing to do with their date. Am I overthinking this? It's none of my business at any rate. I came here to be alone. I turn over and look up at the ceiling. Artificial sunlight filters in through the glass. The waves keep on rolling, ever so gently. And so I begin to think. I try to recall things. Pretty things. Happy things. Beauty. Glittering lights. Brightness. Hope. I try to remember what all those things used to look like, to feel like. I try to make them my own again. If I reach out, I can just barely feel the tips of my fingers graze against them. That's it. Just like that. When I find something, I try to etch it into my memory to make sure I don't forget it. But the harder I try to recall these feelings, the further they drift from what they should be. The moment I attempt to mold them into shape, they slip through my fingers like sand. I dip under the water. I allow myself to sink. Deeper and deeper. I open my mouth and watch the air bubbles trickle out through my lips. Are you like gonna destroy your own self right now, Etika? Water rushes into my lungs. It fills me up. Very briefly, I feel the urge to cough, but it only lasts a second. I let the water fill me up completely. I can't breathe, but I'm in no pain either, because I'm already dead. I don't need to breathe. I continue sinking, deeper and deeper. The memories I made with Kiri, the days I spent with Ryoko and the others, the fun I had with Sue, the pranks I pulled on Kazuma. How did they make me feel? I can't remember. Should I just sink to the bottom and never come back up? Meanwhile, Son... Man, this is actually depressing because in Etika's route, Son was already dead, so we didn't really see the contrast between, you know, the living dead Son and Etika who was alive at the time, right? But I feel like this is actually fucked up. Like, why would you do this? Why would you show me Etika's perspective and then Son's perspective? Makes it actually even feel a lot weirder for me to, or for people that read this scene to feel happy, you know? Mitsumi moves sluggishly, almost like she's underwater. She's only had a single glass, but it looks like she can't hold her liquor too well. Patreon.com Azaikyousuke. I'm just saying that before things escalate and I forget to say it. The moment we step into the room, she collapses onto the bed.
Mitsumi, 大丈夫か?
少し世界が回っているだけだ。
薬もらってこようか?
いや、こういうのも、たまには悪くない。
そうか。
Mitsumi is right in front of me. She's hesitant to meet my eyes. The way she lies there in the bed makes her seem so vulnerable, completely unlike her usual collected self. I keep on gazing at her, almost as if I'm in a daze.
なんだ。
襲ってもいいのだぞ。
I suppose I could. It's certainly a possibility.
君は襲われてもいいのか。
You know, Son, I thought you still can't ejaculate, though. Do you really want to do this, Son? Mitsumi clenches her fist.
それはそのそうだけだからな。そう
As Mitsumi's cheeks flush red, I lean closer in and confess how I feel.
君を愛したい。
I gently place my hand on her head. I can feel her warmth, every breath she takes.
愛してくれ。
And this is where it's gonna fade to black for YouTube.
そうそう
As our lips meet, the waves of her love wash over and caress me. My feelings too have no doubt reached her just the same.
そう
Mitsumi whispers with trembling lips.
私は酔っているのか。自分を制御できない。
Mitsumi timidly runs her hand along my thigh. Her fingers reach the bulge between my legs.
もうこんなに私がよくしてやろう。
Showing not an ounce of restraint, Mitsumi quickly slides out of her shirt, allowing her well-endowed pair of breasts to bounce into view.
なあ、そう。
Cuddled together in bed, the two of us gaze out into the cold night beyond the window. Yet Mitsumi's eyes trace not the dark, snow-scaped outline of Tokyo, but something much further in the distance.
今までずっと。だが、もうミルグラムはいない。
Oh, sorry about that. My left hand clicked that. Oh, damn it. I don't know how to actually voice out this again. Until recently, I've never once questioned my purpose in life.
私はこれからどうすればいい？
三つみ。
私は死体を殺すことしか知らん。これからでも普通の人間になれるのか？
I mean, normal is, you know, subjective. Mitsumi is desperate to seize a brighter future for herself. At the same time, though, yeah, it's gotta be at the same time. Typo there. Her heart is at the mercy of constant doubts and insecurity. However, that internal struggle is the very proof that she's just like everyone else. And so, I do not hesitate to take her hand.
できるはずだ。僕も君と同じ。リビングデッドを殺すことしかできない。でも、死者を殺すよりも、もっと意味のあることがあるはずだ。
Mitsumi meets my gaze head on, even as doubt flickers in her eyes.
そんなことができるのか？
わからない。でも、試してみる価値はあると思う。そうだな。すべてを捨てて、別の町で新しい人生を始めるとか。
すべてを捨ててか。
Mitsumi furrows her brows. Her features show a faint tint of inner turmoil.
そんなこと私にはできるのかな？
Mitsumi slowly averts her gaze. Her words are steeped in resigned melancholy. Is this really the same woman who would bravely and without hesitation face every obstacle life threw her way? I need to be brave. I've come all the way to the topmost floor of the military police HQ. After showing some ID to the security guard, I make my way into his office.
Yo.
何か用か
The old man's sitting at his desk by his lonesome, looking more haggard than usual. I doubt he's had a good night's sleep in a while. I'm thinking that Etika wants Hokuyasu to kill him.
親子の会話？
恨み事を言いに来たのか
まさかお祝いに来たんだって。
ならば構っている暇はない。忙しい。
帝国エネルギー社と新たな秩序を構築するため、宝行イリアが架け橋になってくれてよかったな。わざと泳がせてたんだろう。
思い通りになるものなどない。
昨日までの私だったら思い通りにならないだろうね。でも今の私はリビングデッドだ。本当に忙しいなら命令して追っ払えば。
The old man keeps silent. Back in the day, he used to lead the CQAMA training unit. Together with the University of Tokyo, I'm sure he's done extensive research on necromancy. He's the one that brought me back to life. I can feel it in my bones. But he's not given me any orders. Instead, he continues treating me the way he did when I was still alive.
一つ聞きたい。一括さんをミルグラムに引き渡したのはあんたか？
Ikatsu received a military funeral. Supposedly, the military police then arranged for his body to be transported to a crematorium. So, in order to be reused as a living dead, Ikatsu's corpse had to be acquired at some point before being cremated.
そうだ。
He makes a resigned nod.
私はミルグラムにカラスズミ一括を売った。
What the? Suddenly, his cheeks are faintly illuminated by a red light. With a second's delay, the window glass of the office shakes, making him immediately turn around. A number of explosions have just gone off at various parts of the city simultaneously. I do some quick counting as the roaring flames erupt. That's at least 10 explosions, probably more. The dark smoke billowing from the epicenter of each explosion mingles with the steam from all the pipes that got damaged in the process. When the old man hears the chime of his conry, he answers immediately.
どうした？
ミルグラムと名乗る男から画像通話が。声紋は一致しています。
Yeah, there's no way he was dead yet. Pavlov isn't even dead yet, you know.
嘘だろ。
The bastard got blown to Kingdom Come right in front of my eyes. Didn't he sink to the bottom of the ocean when the Empire Energy Corps' railguns tore his ship in two? There's no way he could have survived that. If he's still around, that would mean...
つなげ。
The old man makes a lightning-fast judgment call. Showing not an ounce of hesitation, he brings up the feed with a speedy multi-flick. But as he does, I can see that his fingers are lightly trembling. The man that shows up on the screen is the same one I thought had died at Tokyo Bay.
ミルグラム、生きてたのか。
見ての通りだ。
There's a man of large build standing behind him. He looks vaguely familiar. I could swear I've seen him before. I run a quick search through the database. It doesn't take long to get some results. The man goes by the name of Pavlov and serves the laboratory as Milgram's loyal aide. Now that I think about it, the Cetus we used to sneak onto Milgram's ship went missing after that explosion. Did Pavlov steal it to rescue Milgram?
計画の第一段階は失敗した。こうなれば多少の犠牲はやむを得まい。
Some sacrifices. I turn my gaze toward the city below and zoom in with my hologlasses. People are fleeing through the streets in a panic while being chased by hordes of walking corpses with oddly discolored skin. I see the same thing happening in several parts of the city. The creatures attacking the civilians are mostly just lo-fis, but they flooded the streets in astonishing numbers.
お前は理性的な人間だ。現状を正確に認識できる。このまま私と対立すれば、東京がどれほどの被害を受けるか、即座に認識できるはずだ。
私が脅しに屈するとでも。
お前は東京リバースプロジェクトに賛同したいとは思わない。
Milgram's assertion renders the old man speechless. The Empire Energy Corp and the military police have never been on good terms, that much is true. The idea to send us onto that amphibious assault ship came from my old man alone. It was a convenient means for him to try and seize Hogyo area for himself.
千葉の原北安。我々は似ていると思わないか。お前も自分の感情を殺したくて仕方ないのだね。我々は南方の森で何を見た。かつての仲間が死体となって襲いかかり、自らの感情を殺してリビングデッドの頭を潰したあの米中戦争。命を
sorry about that.
失いかけてまで、感情を失いかけてまで、そこで掴むべき有意義なものを掴むことができたというのか。近接柔術共同体が命がけで守ろうとした東京には何があった。米中戦争から戻ったお前たちはどんな恥ずかしめを受けた。お前はお前の受けた扱いを受け入れてまで、それでもこの町に存在を続けなければならない何かを見出したのか。
Well, in another route, he did certainly just wants to make everyone into a living dead.
てめえ、さっきから黙って聞いてれば。
もちろんだ。
The old man steps forward. My anger deflates.
この町は正しい姿を取り戻さねばならない。
それが苦しみをはらんでも。
私は私の過去の行いを否定するつもりはない。過ちは人の生きた証だ。
True? He doesn't look my way, but I suspect his words are partially aimed at me. The on-screen image of Milgram appears genuinely disappointed.
月並みで醜い答えだ。
And with that, he cuts the connection from his end. A heavy silence hangs once again in the room. I guess Milgram, by doing that, wants to actually cooperate again with Hokuyasu. But Hokuyasu said, no, fuck that. The windows tremble lightly with each explosion that rings out in the city below. I take a deep breath in an attempt to calm myself. The fact I even have to do that means I still know how to feel agitated. Which is good. I was starting to get worried there.
親父、私の心、まだ死んでないみたい。延長戦だ。ちょっと言ってくれよ。
エチカ。
His voice stops me in my tracks just as I'm about to leave. In his hands are his twin re-eliminators, symbols of the close quarters armed martial arts training unit. Under his arm is the X-brain he used to keep on his desk as mere decoration. Its color dark as a raven's plum. Plume? I think that's Plume. The man standing before me now is no longer the poker-faced official of the military police I used to know. He is once again Kibanohara Hokuyasu, commander of the CQAMA training unit.
私も行こ
Yeah, I knew he was gonna do this.
う。これは私の戦いだ。
You know, as much as I feel like Hokuyasu is an asshole, he is a pretty damn good antagonist, you know. I really like his confrontation with Ethica on Kiri's route. I guess that's gonna be the finale. What I initially thought to be a dream turns out to be painfully real. A resounding explosion jots me awake. This is also the reason why I didn't continue this story yesterday, by the way. I knew this was going to be long. I'm already recording for like an hour. The sheets next to me are cold. Mitsumi's reassuring warmth has left them. As I get up and shake off the drowsiness, Mitsumi's already putting on her gear while consulting her Conray to get a grip on the situation. I myself have never found getting out of bed to be much of an issue, but the speed with which Mitsumi sprang into action puts even me to shame.
さっきのは
テロだ。都内で同時多発的に爆発が起こった。
An uneasy feeling coils around my heart, but I do my best to ignore it as I climb out of bed. I glance at my Conray and check the news.
リビングデッドの襲撃。
我々の出番だな。
Engulfed by raging flames and scalding steam, Tokyo has been thrown into utter chaos. The streets have been flooded by a swarm of living dead that stalks the night in search of prey. This is clearly the work of a necromancer.
そう、車を。
いや、
I see an out-of-control car running over several pedestrians before swerving off-road and crashing into a pipe. The ear-splitting crash damages the pipe and sends hot steam spraying throughout the vicinity. The nearby people scream in agony as the steam scorches their flesh.
むごい。
Tragedies like this one are likely occurring all across Tokyo, as cars would normally keep a safe distance from people during times of emergency. What I just witnessed tells me that the automatic vehicle network has collapsed. Even if we did miraculously find a vehicle with manual controls, the roads would be blocked. And that's not even mentioning the frantic crowd of fleeing civilians that fill the streets.
車より自分たちで歩いた方が良さそうだな。
そうだな。この程度なら大して苦労もないだろう。
The real problem is what to do once we're back at the agency. Necromancers aren't particularly rare, but the majority of them stick to earning a modest living as bodyguards to the Yakuza or the Chinese Mafia. Only a handful would be capable of orchestrating an attack of this magnitude.
ソンク、
涼子さん、無事ですか？
こっちはなんとかね。そっちは？
ホテルグランデシレンツィオにいます。三海も一緒です。
それじゃあ問題なさそうね。みつみちゃんも一緒に聞いてくれる？
I invite Mitsumi to the call with a multi-flick.
エチカちゃんから連絡があったわ。軍警察本部にいてミルグラムからの犯行声明を聞いたって。
ミルグラムからの？
ミルグラムからの。
生きてたんですか？
シータスで脱出したんじゃないかって。
ミルグラムは
sorry
ど
about
こにい
that.
る？
Hoping to quell the flames of Mitsumi's rage, Ryoko answers in a slow, measured tone.
今情報を集めてるわ。ちょっと時間はかかるけど、まずは事務所まで。
A low, guttural moan interrupts our conversation with Ryoko.
さっきの車の。
いや。
God damn it, I keep messing up, man. These guys are talking too slow right now. The man begins shambling toward us. Aside from the gaping hole in his chest, the severe burns caused by the steam have turned parts of his skin white.
こいつは死んでいる。
Mitsumi is right. No one could have survived these wounds. And yet, the man continues to hobble toward us. Must be Lamur gas, right?
リビングデッド。
厄介だぞ。そう。
Mitsumi gracefully sidesteps the lo-fi lurching at her and decapitates it using her thermal karambit. The creature's severed head growls a set of incomprehensible sounds. It hasn't died yet, but that should hardly be a surprise. The living dead continue to function as long as their brains remain intact.
悪いな。
I firmly crush his head underfoot. I don't let it get to me though. Sentimentality will only get you killed in this harsh, cruel world, especially when you're a living dead stalker like me. There's only one question still lingering in my mind.
さっきの男最初から死んでたのか。
グーヌが車を運転することなどできまい。
でもそれじゃ
I halt mid-sentence, having come to a terrifying realization. Many of the lo-fis roaming the streets look like they've been dead for a while now, but among them, I noticed plenty of others with fresh blood in their clothes. Their deaths must have been very recent. Collectively injecting lemurs into such a large amount of people is no easy task. Instead, it's almost like their corpses are turning into living dead on their own. I mean, it's not a mystery anymore because we know about lemur gas. Iria can hear Subcon cry out in pain. The massive tone graph before her flickers aggressively. It displays a three-dimensional map of the city built from a variety of aggregated data, including mesh network activity, energy and population levels, and so on. Each component is collected in real time and displayed in the form of rainbow-colored lights, allowing Iria to easily monitor every aspect of the city and get a solid, immediate grasp of Tokyo's dire situation. She brings up a call window. External calls made by the Empire Energy Corp are monitored by the Advanced Aegis system. Despite the heavy restrictions placed on any outgoing transmission from the Megafloat, the current situation has called for some level of leniency. In light of her vital role in helping to realize the Tokyo Rebirth project, Iria received unique privileges from Sofia Korazaki, allowing her to make calls to the outside.
Yoko, 聞こえる?
ええ、聞こえるわよ。
A single look at the on-screen Ryoko makes it clear that she hasn't slept in a while. But this is no time to worry about such things.
みんなは無事?
時高君は私と一緒に事務所にいるし、外に出てたソウン君とエチカちゃんも今のところは無事。そっちは?
こっちは特に問題なし.
She should be at the very safest place on Earth right now.
よかった。テロの標的にされてるんじゃないかって心配してたのよ。
こっちのセキュリティは万全だもの。
イリアちゃん、今何が起こってるの？
私も一緒にいい?
This is random. Kansu enters the call. Ryoko has relied on Sue's assistance time and again whenever she needed an expert of intel analysis. Iria knows that. And besides, she's met her in person too. She's someone to be trusted. That much is certain. But there's something about her that still bothers Iria. Even though she's already regained her memories, Iria can't quite shake the feeling that there's something else she hasn't remembered just yet.
コンスーの力は私も知ってる。今は一刻を争うから協力してもらえると嬉しい。わかった。頑張る。
それでイリアちゃん、現状はわかる？
町の各所で同時に起きた爆発で都市機能は麻痺してる。新領雲閣や各省庁からも被害が報告されてる。軍警察さえ奇襲を受けててガンシップは壊滅状態。前からハイファイを仕込んでおいたはず。
A reasonable assumption. There's no other way to pull off a terrorist attack of this scale.
そこにリビングデッドの一斉放棄が起こって被害は一気に拡大。その死者は少なくとも1万人。
As Iria recoils at the sheer level of senseless violence she's seeing in the city, Ryoko goes on in a calm, collected tone.
これからもっと増えるわよ。
涼子、こんなことができるネクロマンサーって。
軍警察に犯行声明があったわ。ミルグラムの最高賞金額のネクロマンサーは東京リバースプロジェクト阻止のため再びこの地に現れた。
I guess we're only ever gonna see the Tokyo Rebirth project in Iria's route. We are fucked right now. Iria bites into her lower lip with enough force to nearly break the skin.
丈夫、イリア。
Sue addresses the on-screen image of Iria. She likely feels responsible for Milgram's actions. But at the same time, Iria herself is also the key to stopping this. Unless they can somehow help her regain her composure, the chaos unfolding in the city will only continue to worsen.
私たちはこういう事態を何度も経験してる。ね、リョコ。
コンスーちゃんの言う通り、情報分析して作戦を立てて伝える。あとはうちの優秀なスタッフが実行してくれるわ。大船に乗ったつもりでいなさい。わかった。
Iria is very much aware of how skilled Son and the other members of the agency are. Ryoko herself is a trained professional capable of issuing swift and straightforward commands, which is exactly what they can and must do right now.
被害の分布から見て、リビングデッドの動きは組織化されている。指揮しているネクロマンサーを殺せば状況は改善。相手が烏合の衆なら軍警察で確固撃破もできるわ。
操ってるのってミルグラム？
これだけ大量のリビングデッドだと多分。
ミルグラムは強襲揚陸艦が沈んだ後、どこかに潜伏していたはずよ。おそらく副都知事誘拐の準備もそこで行った可能性は高い。
Olga, while disguised as a human trafficking black market broker, borrowed the amphibious assault ship they saw anchored at the fortress of Umachi Juichiro. In other words, that ship was in Milgram's true base of operations. Kansu grabs a can of Crazy Dragon from her fridge before continuing with her mental deduction. Tokyo's pipe runners are equipped with security cameras under the pretense that they're for protecting the city's essential utilities, there we go, and infrastructure. In reality though, they're glorified spy cameras used to monitor the populace. The footage they record is sent to the military police's own database, allowing for the quick and easy comparison of wanted criminals with existing records. As Milgram has never been caught on their surveillance network, it's safe to assume his hiding place is located somewhere beyond the city limits. Wait a second. Milgram's not the only one in hiding. Kansu starts furiously clacking away on her mechanical keyboard. She combs through the countless images scattered about the mesh network at a speed much faster than multi-flick gestures or even a brainwave mouse would allow. Conjecture, collect, analyze, conclude. In a mere 10 seconds, it becomes clear that her hunch was indeed correct.
見て。
リビングデッドの画像？
Hi-Fi みたいな防腐処理は施されていない。ミルグラムが用意したのは数を優先したローファイ。
I don't know, that big guy in the back seems like a hi-fi to me.
でもそれだとあれだけの数の死体を東京だけで賄うことは不可能。
Iria's eyes widen in shock. Tokyo may be a populous metropolis rife with death and danger, but even so, securing this amount of corpses in a single week without anyone noticing would be physically impossible.
それじゃ死体はどこから？
オールド東京から。
A quick analysis of the Living Dead's clothes revealed that they were mostly manufactured a good 50 years ago.
永久凍土の下から掘り起こしたってこと？
もちろん戦争の死体だけじゃないけど、多分そう。ミルグラムはずっとこういう機会に備えていたはず。
How old is Milgram? He doesn't look that old, but at the very least, he should rival Hokoyasu in terms of age.
イリア、衛星にアクセスできる。
Mankind's scientific and technological level has been stagnant for the past hundred or so years. As a result of the Mare epidemic, launch facilities near the equator were closed down without exception, with only a few century-old satellites now remaining in orbit. These days, a mere handful of mega corporations hold exclusive control over these satellites and the window to outer space they represent. The Empire Energy Corp, being the primary dominant force in the Far East, is one such mega corporation.
できると思う。
お願い、私に直接触らせて。
Even through the screen, Iria's discomfort is palpable. Sue's asking her to hand over, albeit temporarily, the kind of authority that could potentially shut down the whole of Tokyo's infrastructure. Anyone would be taken aback by a request like hers. However, in order to protect the city, Sue needs to find a way to win over Iria's trust, no matter how terrified she may be of revealing her true identity. The gnawing fear that Iria would condemn her upon learning the truth forces Sue to hesitate. But right now, her only chance at winning Iria's trust is to reveal her other eye.
宝行イリア、お願い、私を信じて。
Iria's eyes widen just a tiny bit, almost as if she's caught a brief glimpse of an afterimage from the past. Knowing full well how irrational it is, Kansu nonetheless wishes, with all her heart and soul, for her feelings to reach Iria.
お願い。
See, if I saw this first, I think I would have been a lot more shocked in the first route that I got, right? When Kansu told us about her memories or her past and stuff like that. And I wouldn't be as weirded out by Soria Yuka talking to Kansu about revealing Iria about her truth, you know? About the past.
わかった。君を信頼するよ。
But then again, if I were to do this route first, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? And why did she suddenly, you know, just trust her out of nowhere? I guess it can go both ways. Placing her eye patch back on, Kansu returns to her usual self. She has no time to savor the overwhelming relief she feels. Not now.
これでいい？
オーケー。ベストを尽くす。
Having received the necessary permissions from Iria, Sue begins tapping away on her keyboard. The Empire Energy Corps' internal communications network is outdated compared to the mesh network, but that's hardly something to slow Sue down. If anything, she's in her element now. She inputs a set of long since deprecated commands to access the satellite, and uses the synthetic aperture radar to pull up images of Tokyo's vicinity. All she needs is the raw data, and the rest should be child's play. She continues to frantically analyze every single detail, and before long, she finds what she's been looking for.
ここは旧東京拘置所？
That's a new one. Located on the bank of the Arakawa River, fell into disuse after suffering damage from the Sino-American War. Little more than a frozen ruin surrounded by fields of permafrost. The further you get from the hot pipes that run along the old Yamanote line, the lower the temperature drops, and the scarcer the population becomes. The area beyond the Arakawa River is essentially a desolate wasteland, with the soil around the old Tokyo detention house covered in layers of permafrost. There are some large differences in terms of its extent, though.
掘り返されてる？
ここには戦後仮装しきれなかった死体が埋まっていたって話。集めた死体をコツコツ地下に埋めて貯蔵してた。
オッケー。
On the screen, Iria's eyes light up.
それじゃソウンとエチカがそこに行ってミルグラムをボッコボコにしちゃえばいいのね。
そう。りょうこ、お願いできる？
No answer. When Iria finally glances at the screen, she sees a paralyzed Ryoko, her eyes wide open in shock. Don't tell me Katsu's still alive.
どうしたの？
Alright, I'm not gonna be baited anymore, man. This is where I actually have to end the episode. Next episode, I think we can actually finish this once and for all. We already got the 8 scene. This is just the final confrontation, right? And after that, it should be the epilogue. You can't bait me, game. Sorry about that, guys. This game is really making me very cautious about doing like longer playthroughs, or not longer playthroughs, but like longer recording sessions. But with that though, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Give this video a like if you guys like it. Sub if you guys haven't. Patreon will be getting these episodes early access along with everything uncensored. Though truth be told, like I said, the 8 scenes in this game are not really that good. The one with like Kiri is probably the best one so far for me personally. Like, don't get me wrong, the CG is really good. It's just the like story and like emotions that you feel on the scene itself. But alright, I'm just gonna take a short break and I will be recording the finale for this route on the next episode. See ya.